in the middle of the whispering wood, where the breeze spoke secrets to the squirrels and the butterflies danced in loops like living ribbons, there stood a tree unlike any other. Her name was Tilda. She wasn't the tallest tree in the forest, or the oldest, or the shadiest, but she was most definitely the friendliest. Her bark was warm to the touch. Her leaves shimmered with hints of gold in the sunlight, and when the wind rustled through her branches, it sounded like laughter. Every creature who passed her by felt a little happier, a little lighter, as though Tilda's joy brushed off on their fur or feathers. Tilda wasn't just a tree, she was a giving tree, and she had a gift that no other tree in the wood had. Whatever someone needed, truly needed, she could grow it from her branches. Not all at once, and never for selfish wishes, but for hearts that beat kindly and dreams that hummed with wonder. If a bird's wing was broken, Tilda would grow a healing blossom. If a fox had lost his way, her trunk would bloom with a glowing map. And if a child wandered by with wide eyes and an honest question, well, then magic really began to happen. Then, just above her head, a branch stretched lower. It wiggled slightly, and from it dangled a small, shiny apple with a glowing heart carved into its skin. "Is this for me?" Lila asked. Tilda swayed once. Lila reached up, took the apple, and bit into it. The flavor wasn't like any apple she had ever tasted, was warm and fizzy, like sunlight, laughter, and her favorite song all mixed into one. The moment she swallowed, her heart felt bigger somehow, braver. "I want to be someone who gives too," she whispered, hugging the tree. From that day forward, Lila visited Tilda every afternoon. She told the tree stories, silly ones, brave ones, and quiet ones. In return, Tilda gave her little things. A bracelet of glowing acorns when Lila felt nervous about school, a bottle of giggle bubbles when she had a gloomy day, and once a single golden feather that helped her bird friend Milo learn to fly again. Lila never asked for toys or candy or things to keep. She always asked for ways to help others. Word of the magical tree began to spread, as good stories always do. Animals started arriving from farer forests, and sometimes children too. A hedgehog came with a tangled heart, and Tilda gave him a warm, pulsing rock to carry in his pouch. A boy who hadn't smiled in a whole year was given a pinnacone that whispered compliments every time he felt sad. A family of mice found a tiny door grown into Tilda's trunk that led to a perfectly cozy room inside, just right for rainy days. But one day, a man in a long green coat and polished boots came into the forest with a measuring tape and a very stern frown. He didn't smile when he passed the squirrels or say hello to the daisies. He walked straight to Tilda, looked her up and down, and said, "I'll have to cut this tree down. The wood is far too valuable to waste out here in the wild." Lila, who had been making a crown of buttercups nearby, jumped to her feet. "No," she cried. "You can't. She's a giving tree." The man blinked. "A what? She helps people. She makes the world better," Lila insisted, standing protectively in front of Tilda. "That's not how trees work," he muttered. "Trees give wood and shade and firewood. That's all." But then, before he could say another word, something curious happened. Tilda grew very still. Then a branch reached down and gently tapped the man on the shoulder. He turned just in time to see a small glowing acorn fall into his palm. The moment he touched it, he gasped in all at once. Memories he didn't know he had came rushing back. He saw himself as a boy, building forts from fallen branches. He remembered the tree he used to climb with his sister, and the time he had tied a ribbon to a sapling and promised never to forget how it made him feel. A single tear slipped down his cheek. "I forgot," he whispered. "I forgot what trees really are." He removed his hat. "I'm sorry," he said to Lila, and to Tilda too. "I didn't know." Then he took a step back, placed the acorn carefully in his coat pocket, and walked away slower this time, stopping once to pat a squirrel on the head and wave to the daisies. After that, Tilda grew taller and brighter than ever. Her bark shimmered with stories. Her leaves changed color depending on who visited: soft blue for sadness, golden for joy, pink for hope. And the more people and creatures she helped, the more she grew. Not just taller or wider, but deeper. Her roots began to stretch into the dreams of those who had once touched her, reminding them to share, to care, to give. Lila kept visiting. She grew older, but never stopped sitting beneath Tilda's branches. She brought new visitors: her little brother, a neighbor in a wheelchair, even a kitten with only one eye. Tilda gave to them all. One day, when Lila was tall enough to carry her own backpack full of breadcrumbs and crumpled drawings, she brought a sapling in a pot. "I want to grow another giving tree," she said, planting it near Tilda's roots. "So the world has more kindness, not just one place for it." Tilda rustled her leaves in delight. A single blossom bloomed on the sapling that very moment. Lila smiled and whispered, "You've given so much, Tilda. Now let the world give back." And from that moment on, giving trees began to appear in unexpected places: in city parks, behind quiet schools, even on the tops of mountains and the edges of meadows. Not because someone planted them, exactly, but because someone had remembered kindness and carried it in their pocket like a glowing acorn. Because kindness, like sunlight and laughter and stories whispered on the wind, can grow just about anywhere, especially if you know where to look.